Good evening, everyone. Adam Beasley here with Adam Beasley's Handmade Bows. Today is March the 28th, the evening of March 28th, 2026. And I thought we would make a handmade bow together this evening. It's going to be out of this pattern right here. This is a beautiful check sort of pattern, diagonal line pattern, red, white, and blue pattern. Beautiful pattern for a patriotic bow. And we will be making a bow out of this evening using our Pro Bow the Hand. So we'll be getting started here in just a minute. Like to welcome everybody into the live portion of this demonstration of how I make my bows. If you do not know, I make handmade bows and sell them at the Enterprise, Alabama Farmers Market, and all the funds from my bows go to Guide Dogs of America, Tender Loving Canines. So let me turn the camera down and we will get started. All right. This is the jig I use. This is Pro Bow the Hand. And this is my recipe for the bows that I make. Our recipe for this bow will be one wrap around the center finger and the starting peg. And then the next two pegs will get 2 loops each. The next 2 pegs will get 3 loops each. Then the next 2 pegs will get 4 loops each. And then the last ones will get 4 loops each. So we'll get started. The way I get started is I take my ribbon. Some of you haven't seen me do this, so I'll show you. I take and gather my ribbon together. Just like pleating it. And then I will take and turn it like this right here. And then my wire goes on. The wire that holds everything together. I'll make one wrap there. And then I'll make another wrap. And that is our wire attached to our ribbon. And then we'll take and go around our center peg. And then we will attach the ribbon to the, I call it the king pin, the center pin, wherever you come back to. This pin has a little notch in it that we wrap the top wire around. And then on the side of the board, there is a nail that I wrap the wire around, and that holds the ribbon is attached to the board now. So we'll get started. Like I said, this is Pro Bow the Hand, the name of the jig that I use, and these are available from probowthehand.com, or you can find them on Amazon. This is a recipe, bow recipe that I came up with myself, that I've been using for quite some time now, and it makes beautiful bows. So let's get started. So when we come to this center pin, we have to pleat our ribbon again. Make sure we're all the way down. We have to pleat our ribbon again. Because this ribbon is only printed on one side, we have to twist it every time we come back to our center pin. So I'll put another loop. These, like I said, this loop, this pin, and this pin will get 2 loops apiece. So So there's one loop. Thank you for joining me as we make this beautiful patriotic bow. We've got our 250th anniversary of our nation's birthday coming up, and I'm now making patriotic bows that I sell at the Enterprise Farmers Market. My bows are $30 cash each, and all the funds go to Guide Dogs of America, Tender Loving Canines. So that's one loop on each side. So we have one more loop to go here on this pin, this peg. Come back to the center, hold it tight. It's important that you keep the ribbon tight as we're building this beautiful bow. All right, so now we're back at our center pin. We've got 2 loops on this pin and 2 loops on this peg. I really enjoy making these bows. It's quite simple to make them. All right, now we're ready to move on to our next peg. But before we do that, all of my bows have a backup wire in them. That is, in case the main wire was to break, you still have a way to put a wire in the bow and another wire to use to attach your bows to however you'd like to attach them to something. But anyway, this just keeps the bow together. In case your center wire, your main wire was to break, you wouldn't lose your bow. It wouldn't come all apart and everything. So we have our backup wire in now. Now we're going to move to these 2 pegs right here. These 2 pegs get 3 loops each. 3 loops each on these 2 pegs. I hope you can see everything all right. Looks like it's doing good. Let me move the camera just a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you can see everything. Thank you for joining me as we make this beautiful diagonal print patriotic bow. This is a new print for 2026, and just love the way it looks, the red, white, and blue, and the diagonal print. It will make a beautiful bow. In fact, I sold a bow just like the one we're making right now today at the farmer's market. So if you're interested in buying any of my bows, come out to the Enterprise, Alabama farmer's market. Every Saturday I'm there selling my bows. Like I said, they are $30 cash each, and all the funds go to Guide Dogs of America, Tender Loving Canines. So we have 1 loop on each one of those fingers, so we have to go. We're starting our second round. This is our second loop on this finger. Let me get that out of the way. Now then, we have 2 loops on this third finger. We will be tying the bow off again with our backup wire. All right, there we go. We've got 1 more loop to do on these 2 fingers. So here we go. There's our 3rd loop coming around. Hope all of y'all are having a great evening. It's a great evening here in South Alabama. Been a beautiful day. A little windy today. It was a little cool this morning, but it warmed up nicely. And just a beautiful, beautiful day here in South Alabama. All right, there's our final loops on that finger. So we will be tying our backup wire again. If you decide to get one of these Pro Bow the hands, it's very easy to make bows on, and it makes all kind of bows that are very beautiful. This bow turns out to be about a 10-inch bow, and it takes 10 yards of ribbon to make this bow that I'm making now, which includes the tails, which are 4 tails that are 18 inches long. All right, so we're starting on these 2 pegs right here. These 2 pegs right here get 4 loops each on these pegs, 4 loops each on these pegs right here. So we'll be doing 4 loops each on these pegs. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for watching the live. If you're watching the live, thank you very much. Like I said, today is the 28th of March, 2026, that we're building this bow, this patriotic bow, and it will be available next Saturday, a week from today, at the Enterprise Farmers Market. So there's another loop there. We'll just continue to make our loops, and as we come back to the center, twisting our ribbon to get the design to face outside. If I have not mentioned it before, this is the top of the bow. This is what you see, and this is the bottom of the bow where I'm twisting and putting the ribbon together in a stack. All right, so this is back here at the center. We'll be tying this off with our backup wire. Get that tied off. Hope all of you are having a great Saturday, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. If you're watching, thank you for watching me build this beautiful patriotic bow to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday, which is coming up pretty soon in July, on July the 4th. No better time to get ready for our nation's birthday than now, as we celebrate the 250th birthday of our nation. All right, we've got 2 loops on these 2 pegs already. We've got to put 2 more loops on these 2 pegs, so let's get started. There's one. There's 1 there. One more loop on each one of these pegs, and we'll be moving on to the next one. Like if you're just now joining me, the jig that I use is called Pro Bow the Hand. It's really easy to make bows on, makes beautiful bows. And if you come out to the farmer's market, you'll be able to know how I make my bows and how they're made by watching this video. There's our final loop on this pin. And we'll be ready to tie our wire back off. This is a beautiful new style ribbon that just came out this year. It's a kind of a diagonal line, red, white, and blue ribbon. It has a little bit of glitter in it, not much, very little, if any. All right, so we're through with these two fingers. We're going to be moving on to these two right now. These two fingers get 4 wraps each. 4 wraps each. So we'll be going down here. There's wrap number 1. Our last 2 fingers in this ribbon, this bow. If you're just joining me, all of my bows take 10 yards of ribbon to make one of my bows. 10 yards. That's to include 4 18-inch tails. So takes quite a lot of ribbon to make these bows. And I sell my bows at the Enterprise, Alabama Farmers Market for $30 cash each. And all the funds go to Guide Dogs of America, Tender Loving Canines. Now, if you don't know about Guide Dogs of America or Tender Loving Canines, we provide guide dogs, PTSD dogs, autism dogs, and facility dogs, all free of charge, all over the United States and Canada. So check out the website. It's guidedogsofamerica.org. You may know somebody that's in need of one of those genres of dogs. Visit the website. You can apply for a dog right there on the website. Guide Dogs of America has been providing guide dogs since 1948, free of charge, all over the United States and Canada. All right, there's 2 loops on those pegs right there. So you like 2 more loops on these pegs right here, and we'll have our beautiful bow made. Thank you so much for joining me and watching me build my bows. Who would have thought a 64-year-old man would be able to build bows and would enjoy doing it and selling them to the public? It's not everywhere you can find handmade bows, especially if you like a plain, I call it a kind of a plain traditional bow, where it doesn't have all those furly things in it. To me, it looks really good being a traditional bow, but you may like bows the other way. There we go. One more loop and we'll have our bow made. Thank you for joining me and watching me build this bow live. This beautiful patriotic diagonal line bow, diagonal stripe bow. We're just about through. This is our final loop, and we will have this bow made. Be ready to tie it off. All right, let's get it tied off, and we will have our bow made. All right, so you remember the wire we put up here. We unwrap that wire. That wire gets unwrapped. And then the wire that we put around our nail at the base of the jig gets unwrapped. And then we pull these 2 wires together and we tie it off. Let me trim this excess backup wire off. If you're just joining me, all my bows have a backup wire in them, where if your main wire was to break, your wire that holds the bow together and attaches it to everything, if it was to break, your bow wouldn't come apart. You would still have a bow that was usable. So this is our bow. We'll take it off the jig. This is our bow we made together right here. This is our bow. Doesn't look like much of a bow right now, but we will be spreading it out shortly, and you will see what it looks like. So let's make our tails. Now then, let me square this ribbon up, square my board up. There we go. Like I said, this is diagonal ribbon. So we want our tails 18 inches each. Put our excess spool up here out of the way. So our tails are 18 inches each. So what we're going to do, we're going to measure 18 inches. Right there. And then we're going to fold our ribbon in half. And then we're going to cut it. And that will give us our tails. I'm just folding it in half. And then I'm going to be cutting it. All right. There we go. There's our 18 inch. We have enough here. So there's one tail. So most of the time, these ribbon companies don't give you a full 10 yards of ribbon. It seems like their measurement is usually off. So we have another roll here that has a piece of a ribbon from when I built the last bow. So we're going to take this piece of ribbon right here. And I do believe it's long enough so I can glue these two pieces together. It is long enough. So we're going to lay this piece right here. Then we're going to lay this one right here. We're going to glue these two pieces together. One was left over from one bow earlier. We're going to glue these two pieces together right here. So we'll have enough for a tail. There we go, and not have much waste. All right, now what I'm going to do is take this ribbon right here, fold it in half and find my center. And then I'm going to lay it where I glued this one together. And that will give us a spot to trim our ribbon. So we're going to lay that right there. That's the center. So we're going to trim this ribbon right over here. Because we want our glued portion in the center. So what the easiest way I found to do this, and we're going to do it like this, instead of doing that, we may have to trim some more off of it, but we're going to bring this over here and trim it. There's a piece. Then we're going to turn it all the way around. Now then, we can trim it by this ribbon right here to get it right. This is our glued together one, so it needs to go on the bottom, and this one needs to go up top. This one needs to go on top of this one. And we will have just a little bit to trim off. Not much. Just a very little. All right. I thought it would work out about right. All right, there's our tails made for our bow. We're going to put those aside. Now comes the fun part. The fun part of bow making. Making this bow come to life. Especially using this jig. It's always great to see how this bow turns out. So as you remember, this is our bow. By the way, this is a board that I use to do my ribbon on, my bows on. As you can see, it has a eye loop and a nail or a screw. That's what I put my wire around to hold this bow in place while I spread it out. All right, let's bring this beautiful bow to life. And it will be starting its life on Saturday, the 18th of March. Bring this bow to life here. All right, so we take all four of these. We're on our last row we did, which is at the bottom. So we'll take and pull one around here, one loop around here, and we'll pull another loop around here. And then we'll spread these two loops out. And then we'll turn our board around. There we go. Hopefully you can see what's going on. Same thing with this one. We have 4 loops. Oh, and by the way, I use wired edge ribbon. To make these bows, you have to use wired edge ribbon. This is 2.5 inch wide ribbon. Wired edge ribbon. You can do it with 1.5 inch also wired edge ribbon. But this is 2.5 inch. All right, there's our bottom row. All done. Hopefully you can see that. Now let's start on our next row. It had 4 loops also. We will be doing the same thing. Get these loops all spread out. And by gathering the ribbon right at the center, it makes for a beautiful loop on a bow. All right, so let's pull that one around there. We'll pull that one around there. Those two are up. Then we'll get these two, get them around. All right, so it's starting to look like a bow. All right, so now we'll do these 2 loops. If you're just joining me, we built this bow on a jig called Pro Bow the Hand. which is a really nice jig to build bows with. Easy to use. This recipe for this bow I came up with myself. And it makes a beautiful, beautiful bow. All right, there's the second row, all fluffed out and ready. Now let's start on the next row. This next row, as you remember, had 3 loops around the pins, each pin. So we will be spreading it out. All right, there we go. All right, let's turn our board around. There's how we're looking right now. As you can see, hopefully you can see how we're looking, building our bow. So we're going to take and spread these 3 loops out. This is a beautiful bow. 10 inches across, makes for a beautiful big bow to go on a door or mailbox or wherever you would like to put it. These are beautiful bows, beautiful patriotic bows to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday. All right, now we're on our next row, and if you remember, it had 2 loops in it, so we'll get these 2 loops spread out, and our center loop, we'll get it spread out. All right, we'll turn the board around. There's how we're looking. Put that up there where you can see it. I'll be turning the camera up here in a few minutes where you can see what it looks like when it's finished. Thank you so much for joining me as we build this beautiful bow on Saturday, March the 28th, 2026. A beautiful patriotic bow to celebrate our nation's birthday, which is coming up in July. All right. We are about ready to take it off the board. About got all the loops like I want them. Beautiful patriotic bow. All right. All right, let's take it off the board and spread out our bottom loops. All right, so we'll take it off the board. We'll put our board over here. And we'll fluff up our bottom loops. They need fluffing up because they were sitting against the board. And this is a beautiful, beautiful 10-inch bow to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday. Hopefully you're doing something to celebrate our nation's birthday. Hopefully you're doing some decorating. But anyway, I'm going to turn the camera up just a little bit. And I'm going to hold this up. This is our bow that we've made together. Beautiful, beautiful bow, as you can see. Beautiful patriotic bow. I'll hold it back out here where you can see it. Now we have to turn it upside down. Let me find my wire. and we have to put our tails on it. All right, here's my wire. So we have it upside down. Our tails will go up on here, and we will have this bow finished. We've made a beautiful patriotic bow together to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday. Let me get the tails. All right, these are our tails. We'll be folding these in half and attaching them to the bow. All of my tails are attached at the end, so if you want a bow without tails on it, you're welcome to take the tails off. Most people keep them on. Makes a bow look really nice. There we go. We have our bow, our tails. We're going to put those together. We're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to crimp it. So they look right, and they do. So we're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to wire our tails in. Using our wire, pull those tight. And then we'll separate our tails. One towards the outside and one towards the center. One towards the outside and one towards the center. There's our beautiful bow. We'll turn it back over. Straighten these loops out where it was laying on the table. Make it look pretty again. All right, we've got one more step to do with our ribbon, our tails, and that's to put a dovetail in our tails. So the way we do that, the way I do that is I take a tail and I fold it in half at the very end, fold it in half, and cut from the folded side to the open side on an angle, just like so, and that makes a beautiful dovetail like that right there. So that makes a dovetail on the end of the ribbon. We have 4 of these to do, and we will have our beautiful bow made. Thank you so much for joining me and watching me make this beautiful patriotic bow. This is a beautiful ribbon. Like I say, it's a new style for this year, and I just love the way it looks. Something different. It turns out to be a beautiful, beautiful bow. Beautiful, beautiful bow. The way the colors go together with a little bit of glitter. So there's all our, I'm going to turn the camera up now, and I'm going to hold the bow up so you can see the entire bow all finished with the tails. Let me get where I can hold it. There's the entire bow with the tails right there. That's the bow that we built together this evening. Me and you and everybody watching. So thank you for helping me build this beautiful patriotic bow. Like I said, this bow will be available next Saturday at the Enterprise Farmers Market. Thank you for watching. Like I said, all of my bows are $30 cash each, and all the funds go to Guide Dogs of America Tender Loving Canines. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching. I'll give you one more look at this beautiful bow. And thank y'all so much for watching my live video of me making this beautiful bow. Y'all have a great weekend, and look forward to seeing you on our next live when we make another patriotic bow for America 250. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening, everybody. Visit guidedogsofamerica.org if you're interested in finding out about our guide dog program, our PTSD dog program, our autism dog program, or our facility dog program. A lot of great information on the website. So thank you for watching Adam Beasley's Handmade Bows. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great weekend.